If your front sight is starting to disappear, you've probably looked at lasers, red dots, fiber optics, and bigger sights, hoping one of them would solve the problem. Here's the bad news. None of them solve the same problem. Today, I want to test one of the more interesting solutions I've seen, a motion-activated laser. It is one of the more expensive options I've tested, so before anyone spends that kind of money, let's figure out if it actually solves the problem you're trying to fix, or whether the money should be spent somewhere else. I'm Dave with Everyday Gun Owner, and believe it or not, my goal is not to convince you to buy another gadget. It's to help you understand what the problem you're actually trying to solve is so you can spend your money where it makes the difference. Combat Tactical Lasers sent me their newest model, the CTL200. But they don't get to approve this review or my conclusions. If you decide it's right for you, I do have a link in the description. Now, before we talk about this, let's figure out what actually makes your shooting harder in the first place. One of the biggest mistakes I see people trying to buy a solution before they know what the problem is. Someone tells me, I can't see my sights anymore. Well, that's not enough information to recommend anything. That's like saying my computer's not working. Well, okay, what's not working? Imagine three shooters standing side by side at the range. They all say the same thing. I can't see my sights. But they have completely different problems. One person's front sight is blurry because their near vision has changed. Another can see the sights just fine but struggles to find their red dot. Maybe it's a blurry mess. Someone else has arthritis and has trouble operating the small buttons or grip switches. Now, if all three people buy the same product, at least two of them are spending their money on the wrong solution, and they wind up wasting their money. So before you buy anything, ask yourself, what's actually making shooting harder? Is it my front sights are blurry? My red dot looks like a starburst? I have trouble activating switches because of arthritis or weak hands. Do I struggle finding my sights during presentation? Or is this the real problem? I simply haven't practiced enough. Those problems sound similar, but they do not have the same solution. And that's why I want to start by figuring out what problem we're trying to solve before I talk about the laser. Because the fastest way to waste money is to buy a solution before you know what the problem is. Now that we've identified some of the common problems, we're going to see what the actual CTL200 is trying to solve. Not what the marketing says, what it actually does. Unlike most handgun lasers, the CTL200 does not have a button or grip switch. When the gun is presented, the laser turns on automatically. Set it down or lower it to a resting position and it turns off all by itself. So what problem does that solve? If your biggest issue is remembering to activate a laser under stress, well, it removes that step. If arthritis or weak hands make small buttons difficult, it removes that step too. If you've already discovered that a visible laser works better for you because of your vision or your hands, the automatic activation, the motion sensor, makes that experience much simpler. But it doesn't solve everything. It doesn't fix poor trigger control, won't help you identify a threat, and it's not going to replace practice. Now, during my testing, I noticed I have what I call a deep low ready, and the sight turned itself off. This is not a design flaw, it is on purpose. I wanted to see how fast I could come up on target and activate the laser from this deep low ready when the laser is off. This prevents putting the laser on the floor, your own feet, or pointing it at somebody next to you. Once the pistol and laser drop below a certain angle, the laser turns off. When you raise the gun, there's a split second before it activates. This is by design. You just have to train with it and how you intend to use it. CTL200 does not solve every aiming problems. It solves one specific problem, and that's how you should judge it. I'm going to put that back. If your biggest problem is that you simply don't practice enough, I'd spend that money on ammo and training. If your front sight has become harder to see, higher visibility, bigger sights might be the better investment. If you've moved to a red dot or a hollow sight and it works well with your vision, stay there. That's fine. If you tried lasers before and discover they really help your eyes, but you still struggle with buttons or grip switches because of arthritis, then a CTL200 might make a little more sense. Point is you're not buying a laser. You're buying a solution to a specific problem. After spending time with the laser sight, I don't think it's a product for everyone. Honestly, I don't think it was designed to be. Think back to those 3 shooters we talked about earlier. The one with the blurry sights, the one who struggles with small buttons, the one who just needs more practice. They're all not going to reach the same conclusion. That's the way it should be. I think you should take a serious look at the laser, the CTL 200, if you've already discovered that a visible laser works well for your eyes. But if small buttons or grip switches have become frustrating because of arthritis, or if you want a simpler way to just activate the laser under stress, I think it's for you. But I would skip it if your current sights work well, if you're still building solid shooting fundamentals, or if you just need training and ammo, would give you a better improvement. You expect a laser to replace practice or to solve every aiming problem you have, look somewhere else. This solves a very specific problem. Now, if that is your problem, it may be worth every penny. If it's not, there are obviously better places to spend your money. And if your current setup is working and you're shooting confidently, you may not even need to spend the money at all. Good equipment does not make good decisions. Understanding your problem does. Now, if you're still trying to figure out whether your biggest challenge is your vision, your sights, or something else, I've put together a free Shooting for Aging Eyes cheat sheet. It'll help you identify the problem before you spend money trying to solve it. The link is in the description. Now, if you're interested in learning more about the CTL 200, I also put a link in the description along with a discount code. Combat Tactical Laser did send me this unit to test, and if you decide it's right for you, I may earn a small commission at no cost to you, and I do appreciate that. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.